Today we got the psychology of Cenat. If you're new, make sure to subscribe and let's get into the video.
Cenat, the greatest content creator of our generation, is not what he seems. On the surface, he comes across as a humble kid from the Bronx that built up a gigantic platform and uses it to bring unique, never seen before content to the world while simultaneously giving back to the community, which is true. But upon deeper examination, I found that he is actually an eccentric, manipulative, multifaceted genius. The more I thought about
I kind of seen the video taking this turn when he said he seems like he's humble. Like I kind of seen it going into this direction, but we will have to see.
About everything that Cenat does, it occurred to me, you don't get to the #1 status of anything with just luck or genuinity. Oftentimes it is through manipulation, the free-flowing nature of one's personality to match whatever room they're in. Things like this is what gets people in certain rooms and keeps them in them. And Cenat is no different in this regard. He is actually a genius that manipulates the whole world constantly to get a certain outcome. But see, it goes right over people's heads, and that's due to two things that Cenat has mastered in his unique psyche to propel himself to the top. Before I explain those 2 points, I like to thank the sponsor of today's videos, some mints. A lot of y'all.
Hey, look, W sponsorship. Go ahead, get your money.
One thing Cenat is a master at doing is playing possum with his ego. Your ego is mainly described as your sense of self. A lot of people don't know how to come up out of their egos because all they can worry about is how they feel. But Cenat is so good at putting his own ego and pride aside to allow certain situations to unfold. Cenat can be in a situation where he can literally be getting disrespected, but he can somehow put his ego and pride aside to let the situation unfold for us viewers to watch.
Yeah, because this is a little...
Whoa,
my bad, Chad.
Whoa. Wait, you put a hole in my wall.
You rich, you can fix it.
God, you just put a hole in my wall.
What's that right there? That's a video here?
Then she says, you're rich, you can fix it. I don't know if I'm just getting on some mature, but like, it was like, okay, you gave the green light for people to come. You already know how they are. You already know what the things they've been through. You allow them to come to your house and do this. You feel me? Yeah. If I didn't double think that night, like I probably would have been like, nah, all right, y'all gotta go. I just in the third. But it was so much people watching me at that time, and I didn't want to be seen as like a get clipped as like, no, this is ghetto. Oh my God, I can't do this. This is crazy.
Something that a lot of
Okay, to be fair, I do think like what he said is true because like he was popping before that, but that did help him blow up. And like, it's nothing wrong with, I don't think there's anything wrong with him like not crashing out. Cause if it was me, you would have to get out. Okay, it's one thing, okay, boom, it's all in a wall. It's another thing, her saying, you're rich, you can fix it, and you got a car, you can get out. You can go home, leave. Like, I wouldn't have cared. I guess this the ego thing. I wouldn't have cared about all the people watching because y'all was watching me before they came on here. Y'all gonna watch me after. That's my assumption. They don't watch me because I brought them on the show. They watch me because of me, and then they just add to my stream. So all of that humbleness and all that, I just think it's no self-respect. Okay, I let you put a hole in my wall. I didn't kick you out then, but then you saying you rich, you can fix it. You got a car, you can get out.
People are high status, and often even everyday people can't do is literally put this ego aside. And this is due to a plethora of reasons, but most people don't even have the validity to have giant senses of egos. Yet Kai, on the other hand, who is a young millionaire who literally has the influence of the youth at his disposal, regardless of this though, on the surface level, he always appears to have very little ego.
Would you like to go on a date with me?
Are you asking for real?
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm serious. Whenever you get some free time, would you like to go on a date with me?
You can't do that.
I like to call him the Gen Z version of Kevin Hart because Kai has mastered in a relatively short time something that Kevin Hart has done his whole career. He can turn his ego off and jump into a certain character where he can come across as way more childish and ignorant than he actually is. Butter joke most of the time. Nobody suspects anything looking at him because invested in the character they don't even think capable of being this. A perfect streamer.
Oh, I hear that shit.
The only way to get in was by filling out a 3-page application and then having a video stating why you deserve to be in streaming university. One of Kai's main reasons for holding a streaming university was to give smaller streamers who haven't been given the opportunity to put on yet a chance to showcase their talent. And not to say it wasn't about helping small creators, because the ones that took advantage of the opportunity, the main goal of the university was not to help small creators, but boost. I say this due to the initial criteria that Cenat set for streaming university.
All creators, the faster you apply, the better. Goddamn America, South America, Africa, Alaska, goddamn wherever. Apply.
Literally any person was told to apply to streaming university as long as you uploaded a video to social media before you counted as a content creator. He even told people out of the country to apply. And since it's open-ended, so literally everybody in the world applied. It's so big that within the first 15 minutes of applications opening, the website crashed because it received over 1 million applicants. It was everywhere. The news, TikTok, YouTube.
Wait, okay, hold on. He said that the main reason of Streamer University was to boost Kai's brand. If he is the person holding Streamer University, is going to do that anyway. Now, I kind of when I first heard him say manipulation, I just immediately assumed bad, which manipulation isn't always bad depending on how you do it, because you can manipulate a situation. Like, let's say, for example, you held hostage. You could manipulate your way out of that situation to where you don't get hurt and you don't hurt nobody else too, and you leave that situation unscathed. And so, yeah, I would say Kai is a master manipulator. People has put the stigma on the word manipulation though, so that's why. Like, my brain just automatically went to that. Also, Kai, yes, he made it very popular, and yes, not popular, but he made it very easy to access, saying anybody could apply. But you know, there is some criteria. But yeah, he made it easy to apply, and everybody could apply, and everybody from all over could apply too. But like you said, also the people, the lesser known streamers who took advantage from it, they benefited from it. That's why it's not a problem. It's not like he was just using people and promising them something that didn't happen. That would be the bad thing. I've seen people saying Streamer University was a scam. It wasn't. If you went to Streamer University and stayed in your dorm room the whole time, you wasted your time. If you went to Streamer University and didn't want to be a streamer, but you still took the things that you applied, and took the things that you learned and applied yourself, and apply it to what you do. Like, I seen one dude say he like being a YouTuber. He don't want to be a streamer. I didn't think he wasted his opportunity. That was perfect use of Streaming University, because you still learned something and you took something from it. Agent was teaching. I done made multiple videos before, multiple clips on TikTok saying Agent was the only one teaching, bro. By the way, my TikTok is Bean Reacts. It's my official clip page. That's where I post my clips. For anybody on YouTube, for anybody on TikTok, my TikTok is my YouTube is Bean Reacts. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go live right now. Or do you have to have some requirements?
commentary. Every day up until the announcement of selected creators, there was a huge influx of the face of Kai Cenat and Stream University all across the world. People rushed to tag and hashtag Kai Cenat to try to get a chance to be seen to get selected for Stream University.
My name is Maxwell Ye, and this is my application to Stream University.
Top 5 reasons I should be accepted into Stream University.
Kai Cenat!
Hi, Kai Cenat.
So many people applied that statistics showed that you were more likely to get accepted into Harvard before Streamer University. I remember the night of announcements, after seeing them, I initially felt resentment and a little bit of anger because I felt like I genuinely deserved to be a part of this because I literally was just in college making content like this. But as I calmed down and looked past my own emotions, I realized what Kai Cenat had actually done. By making the application criteria so open-ended, it allowed the whole world to circulate Kai Cenat mainly and Stream University all around the world. Stream University was a first concept that nobody had ever made before. It's literally a stamp in history as a breakthrough, something brand new, and Kai Cenat's name is fully associated with it. So for anybody who wasn't fully familiar with Kai Cenat but saw the traction of this Streaming University, whenever they look into who made it, Kai Cenat is the first name that pops into their head. So those who weren't familiar with Kai now are. My own mom was telling me to apply for Kai Cenat Stream University, and she barely even knows who Kai Cenat is. So the whole—
But that was, look though, we can't even hate like that wasn't a master plan. That was a great plan. That was a great plan, if we being honest. Like, Kai level of thinking, I know he has a team. So like, it helps that he has people around him working with him. But at the same time, he did great marketing by letting everybody be able to access it. And saying anybody from anywhere, as long as you make content. Now, he did narrow down the requirements, saying if you just started making content, you can't join, or if you make fake acceptance letters. But outside of that, I think he did a good job of allowing people to be a part of it.
whole thing ended up making Kai Cenat more rich and relevant. But the way he pitched it, it just came across as him trying to help small streamers and bring some amazing content, which again, don't get me wrong, not discrediting that because that's what he did, but that's not what the main point was. Because if it was, Kai Cenat would have made the criteria where certain people wouldn't have been able to even apply. And that way, more small creators who actually deserved it would have got a chance of being seen. But if he did that, it would have never went worldwide and he would have never got as much traction. He created a need for the masses and he rerouted that energy to make himself more relevant and famous. But most people can't even see the genius of this type of play because they don't even suspect Kai Cenat. The next thing that Kai Cenat has mastered to pair wonderfully with him being able to shut off his ego is his ability to please. Come on, guess Kai Cenat more here or not be there.
Okay, I got you.
You will fall to the same thing. Since his form, Kai has in a way become a gateway for these businesses. And since he's naturally just heard, a lot of people will take those opinions and confuse them as their own, even if they haven't actually listened to some opinions. This is so down to earth, a humble guy who really gasses these artists who come on his their way around.
But look, if you do business with Kai Cenat, if you come on Kai Cenat's stream, that benefits you too. Kai isn't the only one benefiting them. Benefiting. Both people do him a favor. Think about how he got big. Okay, boom. He was streaming in his room. A rat crawled under the nightstand or dresser, whatever, under the bed, while he was doing push-ups. That clip blew him up. Like, people knew him for doing videos in college, but that helped blow him up. Phantom had him in AMP. He was with Dude, Chris, Davis, Phantom, Agent, right? Then he started bringing celebrities on his stream. That benefited him as much as it did them. So they both gained something from it. It's just now that Kai is at the level he's at, it makes it seem like they benefit him, but they both, like, both parties benefit. So I don't agree with him saying that only Kai benefits, because that's not true.
It makes it very easy to like Kai Cenat, and by making himself appear like this, he has created a never-ending content loop that will continue to generate money, media attraction, and conversations around him even past his own life. So now when bad things arise, Kai Cenat is able to put his ego aside and play to his likableness built around him. When certain allegations come up regarding Kai Cenat, unless there is substantial evidence, they are immediately shut down by his fans, because we as the audience have been trained to see Kai as a nice, humble guy who just likes to make us laugh. And it's not to say he isn't those things more or less, but my point is the image he has created around himself will almost always outshine any situation that comes up. So once you get a person that shows very little ego and is able to make themselves appealable to multiple races, audiences, and ages, who also has a ton of power, money, and influence, you get a person who is able to put the masses under a spell and pretty much sell them whatever image and narrative that they want. And since you never even expect a person like that in your head to be a mastermind and be able to manipulate energies to get a certain outcome, it comes across as genuine, natural, and effortless. It's why content creation feels so personal on a broad scale worldwide, despite it being a billion-dollar industry. The biggest streamer in the world is able to fit in whatever image that is needed. It's even why when certain artists are starting to fall off or starting to lose their public credibility, they go hang out with Kai Cenat on stream. Because if Kai Cenat, the most down-to-earth, egoless, likable guy, says he likes you regardless of what you have done, then his whole audience will, and eventually the world. Kai Cenat is not rich because he makes the best content possible or because he is even extremely funny. He has the ability to manually regulate his own emotions. His ego plays to his strength simultaneously showing himself and is able to do it on a scale. It's fun.
Okay. What I would say is that any person who is up there, I'm talking about elites, not the elites, but like money wise, fame wise, power wise, or that comes with the money and the fame. Basically, anybody who is up there, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart, like people like that has a lot of money and is well known, to an extent, they all are capable of this. I just feel like that's something, like, once you start making a lot of money, you don't do it. You don't just accidentally make $50 million. You do it because you're smart. I don't really think it's a bad thing that he hides his emotions in some cases to fit in or make decisions. Like, if somebody do something to him, he not just gonna start tweaking. He'll start laughing, and then the chat will too. They'll think it's funny, or the chat will be like, "Well, I know I couldn't do that, but since he did it, it makes him more likable." But I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. I think that he's just smart. That's all it is. Anybody who can do that, I mean, shit, they gonna make money. That's how I look at it. He hasn't scammed anybody. That would be like where if he say, "Oh yeah, y'all send me this and then I'm gonna do this." He hasn't scammed anybody, and he has put other people on. I don't know if he has signed Ray to a contract or signed Tota to a contract or nothing. But if he did, they are grown men. And Ray doesn't have no filter, so I'm gonna assume no. But Kai uses his influence to help people too, regardless if it's dark psychology or reverse manipulation. I still think he does good things too, and that his manipulation, air quotes, shouldn't be looked at as a bad thing. But with